Okay, this will be part two of your informational videos this week. And what I'd like to do here is kind of explain how the assignment will go. Okay, so the first week, as you can see, we're just doing introductions. We like to start this course. Most of your online courses will start with some kind of an introduction. I know you probably get a little bit tired of it in terms of, constantly giving an introduction, but we try to coordinate that so that we do a little bit different and you find out different things about everyone in the program each semester. And so this time for 615B, what we'd like to do is to have you share one unique thing about yourself, something that probably we wouldn't know about you. Usually that's on the personal side, but again, that can work any way that you want. If you just click on the information here, basically what you'll do is notice it does say in a Word document, just in a word process document, if you would just make sure that it's a live document. I know a lot of you probably use Google Docs, and that's fine, but what you might want to do is just download it in a Word file or something, because Clesiani will manipulate those files just a little bit to post them on Moodle. And so we'd like the text, and then we'd also like a picture to accompany that. Notice the deadline on this one is Friday, June 20th. We're doing this just to kind of get it going, so you're probably viewing this on Monday. But try to have it done by Friday so that we kind of get all those together and so forth. And I'll look forward to learning about you. Keep in mind, people like me enter the course each semester, and so you guys know each other better than you know us, and so we want to get to know you as well. So we usually have some kind of an introductory activity associated with all the courses. But as we go forward, the major part of this is this resource sharing and discussion activity. Now, I'm not going to go through kind of the point total and all that. You can look at that on your own, but I'm sure you're wondering, well, what do I have to do for this? What does this look like? And all we're asking you to do is to share some resource. It can be a resource that you already use or that you want to learn about and then share with us. But the one thing, make sure it's something kind of a new. I'm not sure that, to use Google Docs for an example, I'm not sure that one would be a great resource to share, because a lot of people already know how to use that. Maybe Google Drive, if you show us what are the unique things in Google Drive, that kind of a thing. So pick your resource strategically so that it moves us forward in learning new things and being able to use it maybe in our own classroom situations. Again, what you might want to do if you're not sure, would this one work or not? You might want to work or have it approved by me first. The resource could be a Web 2.0 tool. It could be a web page that's useful. Not just information delivery, maybe, just depending on how it works. It could be a journal article. It could be also an app, if somehow you can share that with us. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here, and when you think about it, at the end of this seminar, you will have 15 new resources that hopefully you could use some of them in your own context. The other thing to keep in mind, there's elementary teachers in this cohort, there's secondary, there's people not even in education. So it's okay. It's not like, well, the elementary teacher, how do I do something that the secondary people can use, and on and on. Just select strategically, so that maybe pick a tool that it almost doesn't matter what level you're on, you might be able to use it. Or keep in mind, just like at the elementary level, all of us might have younger kids that it can benefit. And the other thing that we see in this program is that, you guys, we want to develop you as leaders in your schools. And so even if one of the elementary teachers decided to share one of those elementary resources, or a secondary teacher decided to share a secondary resource, you can start sharing those with colleagues in your schools or learning environment. So it's okay, it's okay to have a focus at a specific grade level, but try to broaden it if you can, so that as many people as possible could use these resources. Okay, so what does this look like? How do you develop this assignment per se? I'm going to show you an example from the last time I taught the course, which was 2 years ago, to cohort 5, and I'm going to show you Joni readout. And she did hers on Blogger. Joni is a 6th grade teacher who uses a lot of blogging. She's a reading teacher, so she used that. And so what she did, this is set up. Ecclesiani has your spot all set up, but she shared a video in YouTube. You could make, I'm using the program Screencast-O-Matic, so you could do something like this and make your own video and show us what it is. But basically she uploaded it, so we would watch that. Then she did a little bit of a paragraph or some informational text, what it is, how it works, how she uses it, or how teachers could use it in their environment. She gave us another common site like Kid Blog. She has an article, a link to an article here, and she even linked it to her classroom website to show you, or to show them, how she uses it in her own classroom. So a lot of different possibilities in terms of how this might work. Notice she set it up at the end then as states on your criteria. What you want to leave us with is, you want to leave us with some questions to think about and that we can answer, and it will get us starting to think about how to respond to what you did. Okay, and so as an example here, here's Brian's response to Joni. Okay, so he kind of, and you guys, one thing that this group did that we got into a kind of a rut was they just listed the 5 questions and then they would just start answering the questions. I'm not sure that's exactly what a discussion board does. It's more, those are just kind of contextual questions, and then in your conversation back to the leader, in this case Joni, answer those questions, but just don't answer the 5 questions and then, okay, that's it. You can start a conversation about what you've thought about blogging or whatever, using blogging as the example. But notice now Joni goes back in and responds to Brian. Brian comes back in, responds to Joni, and they had a little bit of a conversation going back and forth, and then others start entering in. I did the same thing. But again, see, now this example that I have on the screen with Melissa, it's great, they're answering the questions, but I'm not sure that ebb and flow of that, after doing that 15, in their case 23 times, I kind of got tired of that. So be mindful of that. You guys discuss the resource. Contribute with your expertise, contribute with your knowledge, and blend in those answers with your response. Now, one trick with this here is to you're going to post your example, like, and again, this is just, I hesitate even showing you Joni's because you don't have to copy this, okay, but that's the basis of it. And be creative, but they'll post that Monday at 5 o'clock. You have until Friday at 5 o'clock to respond to whoever is posted. Then the facilitator's job is to continually go back in there and keep the conversation going, respond to those who have responded, start another question or direction, but still focused, And then you don't get in the rut of, okay, I'm going to go in on Tuesday and I'm done. I'm not going to go back. You guys, you learn from others that post throughout the week. So go back in there 1 or 2, 3 times during the week so you can see what everybody else is saying about that resource, okay? Whether you just post once, that's okay, but you might be able to contribute more to the conversation, okay? And then it always works very, very well then. The only last thing that I'm going to kind of take you through in this is this discussion summary forum. Then after you've posted your idea, your resource, you've facilitated the discussion, then the facilitator has one more thing that he or she has to do, and that is to come to the discussion summary forum and post your summary where you take the highlights and summarize your long discussion group for that week. Now, I will work with Clesiani. We will have this organized for you, and you will see exactly where you have to go in there. I believe the first week is Lori and Amelia, and so we'll have that ready for you to go so that you can just plop in your text. But that will be another area that you will want to go back into to at least see how they have summarized the discussions, what were the highlights, what did we learn, and you'll be able to take with you as well. So I think that's it in terms of, hopefully that gives you a good idea of what that as we get started with the resource discussion, what that will look like. I will say too is, notice we have them all set up. You signed up for your weeks, or we signed them up for you if you didn't happen to be here that first week. But with Emily, she's the last. She doesn't have to wait till August 18th to say, I'm going to do Bubble Us. Okay? She can say that right now. If you know what resource you want to share, and it's, you know it will work, you don't need approval by me, or if you need approval, let me know so that we can get it approved and we can get it posted. Because what Clesiani will do is she will change this to Lori Bubble Us or whatever, and then we'll be able to see, oh, Betsy took my resource, I'm going to have to find a new one, okay? So if you want to really be on it, you can do it that way, okay? So hopefully if you have any other questions, clarifications, please let me know, but hopefully you can start thinking about that, at least pick your resource, and then be able to work with it from there, okay? Okay, well thanks a lot, and now I'm going to go do part 3.